Like, okay. I mean, and you know, when you thought, you know, that, okay, maybe it'll be Celestial Crusader. No, it's not Celestial Crusader. It's an army in a bottle. Like,
army in a bottle. Oh, man. Brendan Beard on Twitter says, we need a necklace ASAP. Well, we'll see if, I'll talk to Glenn Jones and see if he can get you a little something. But we'll read it off to you guys right now in the meantime. 3 Phyrexian Metamorph, full 4 Soul Warden, 4 Flicker Wisp, 2 Knight of Meadowgrain, 4 Spring Jack Shepherd.
4 of them. Not 1, not 2, not 3.
4 Mike is not pulling any punches with the goat.
Yeah.
2 Celestial Crusader, 4 Leonin and Relic Warder, 2 Path to Exile, 2 Swords to Plowshares, 4 Crusade, 3 Mirror Weave, 4 Aether Vial, 4 Port, 4 Wasteland, and 14 Plains. Sideboard, 2 Leonin Arbiter, 2 Phyrexian Revoker.
He's giving away all his tech here.
A Relic, 3 Story Circle, 2 Wheel of Sun and Moon, 2 Angel's Grace, a Misstep, and 2 Tormod's Crypt.
A thing of beauty. A thing of beauty this deck.
A goat of beauty.
A beautiful, beautiful goat.
Michael Torres is a true goat mage. Goat Blade. Goat Go.
Blade. Goat Go. I don't know.
Goat
Go isn't bad.
I want to play Goat Blade pretty bad.
Goat Blade, but the goats don't need blades. There's so many of them. How would you arm them all? So Nick seems to have an opening hand, which he is staring at intently.
Nick seems happy. It looks like Michael Torres is shipping his hand back, going to 6. Now what you want to see if you're a goat mage, you need all your cards.
I mean, you can't make nearly as many goats if you mulligan.
It is harder.
Is that like going to be like level 51? Goat mage?
Goat mage.
So, yeah, level 50 Archmage, level 51 Goat Mage.
It's just beyond this. That is like what Matt Tabak is, right? Like, he's in there coding in his own.
You have passed beyond the realm of mortal men, and you've ascended to the Goat Mage.
It's like, live very well, now a Goat Mage. Yeah, we're talking the new Planeswalker point system, of course. Level 50 is Archmage, only 5 players.
I still think that you should be able to choose your title when you're level 50. I'm gonna send that suggestion along to Mike Turian because
I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
it gives you it actually gives you a cool incentive to level up.
I want to be level. I want to be able to choose. I would actually just choose Dragon Master.
Dragon Master.
50 Dragon
and you should choose your picture too, right?
Yeah.
Dragon Master Halfcast would be awesome. So Torres goes for Soul War. Nick Spagnolo Mental Missteps it.
Nick seems to have no second land past his back, or he could have gotten wastelanded, perhaps. It looks like there's a Mishra's Factory in his graveyard.
And his hand has Stoneforge Mystic. It's got some juice.
And Michael Torres with Rashad and Port, so
there's the tax part of the deck.
Nick Spagnolo's land stall is...
There's a Brainstorm.
Potentially going to cost him. So he passes back with the full 7.
And there's another Port. And here comes Soul Warden.
And no misstep for that one.
And then he's going to ship the turn and tap that Tundra. Nick will likely Brainstorm in response.
Yeah, he's casting Brainstorm. You used to be able to float the blue mana into your draw step, draw your card, and then Brainstorm. Yeah. But the changes, I believe it was in M10.
M10 rules changes,
changed it so that mana clears from your mana pool between steps as well as phases. So Nick doesn't get to see the extra card he would if you got a draw step first.
It's actually a pretty significant change, and a lot of older decks really use that ability.
Well, I mean, it's kind of funny actually playing. He discards. No, poor Elspeth. There's Crusade in your opponent's deck. And this is actually a really rough spot for Nick because, given that he has Brainstorm, he knows there's no land coming.
Yeah. So I mean, he's got another Brainstorm. He can dig a little deeper, but.
I don't think I'd want to Brainstorm right away.
No, not next round. You want to clear up some of those cards first. And he's going to Swords away the Soul Ward in his upkeep in response to the land being tapped. So the cool thing about the Planeswalker point system is that I think there's a lot you can do with the lifetime points that are like tangible benefits. Like choosing your title would be one example. Choosing your card could be another one at certain levels. So, cool stuff there. Looks like, is that a Spring Jack? Is that what?
Ooh, a Leonin Arbiter.
Oh, that's Leonin Arbiter. When Nick only has 1 land.
And many of his lands are fetches.
Yep.
So, this could be pretty rough. And he uses the white mana for Swords to Plowshare. So he wanted to discard this turn. So Nick draws. And
draws Misty Rain for
Misty. That is well-timed. passes back.
But Mike does have access to 2 ports here.
Well, Misty Rainforest is a difficult land to port.
Well, it certainly is. Although he can force Nick to crack it, potentially, if he taps it at some point.
Yes.
For example, Nick's trying to get that Stoneforge Mystic online. If Mike taps both of Nick's lands in his upkeep, he'll likely crack the Misty Rainforest. And if that happens, then and he doesn't draw a land, then it's the Rainforest.
Well, I mean, the only real reason to crack the Misty Rainforest is so your opponent can't wasteland it while it's tapped, but your opponent can wasteland most lands you get anyway.
I mean, I figured he'll go like Brainstorm, put 2 cards back, Misty Rainforest, or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes to tap the Misty Rainforest, I think I would just let him tap it. There's very little incentive to let his other port become live before you have you're able to cast a 2-cost spell.
Looks like Mike doesn't even try to tap the Rainforest.
Yeah. And Nick draws a land, looks like a Mishra's Factory, which lets him get Tundra with his Misty Rainforest and cast that Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah, that's a good point about tapping the Misty Rainforest. I guess it doesn't really play out.
So Stoneforge comes down.
Stoneforge down, going to get Batter Skull.
Yeah, we're going to go see the Great Batter Skull come into play.
Alright, Nick's going to go get Batter Skull. And now Michael Torres has had plenty of time to assemble some pressure and was not able to.
It looks like he has quite a bit of mana. I believe that's... Now that I've seen the artwork for this card, I think that's a Springjack Shepherd I see in his hand.
Shepherd not
so impressive just yet.
It's not as GOAT in this position. Taps 2 for Phyrexian Revoker. Alright, so we can revoke the Stoneforge, but I guess that probably gets forced by Nick. See if Nick forces that. Nick burned a lot of targeted removal spells on Mike's earlier creatures, hitting even a Soul Warden.
So,
alright, let's it resolve.
Yep, comes into play. And now we have
Flicker Wisp.
And just doesn't flicker anything? Or he's flickering short the Stoneforge.
Wait, you flicker Stoneforge Mystic. Why would you flicker Stoneforge Mystic?
I don't know.
Out of all the cards on the battlefield you could have flickered, Stoneforge Mystic was probably not the one I would have chosen.
I probably would not as well.
Because if you flicker your planes, it untaps even.
Yeah.
Oh well, so much for that.
Well, so...
Now Nick has both his Batter Skulls.
And now Nick has a pair of Batter Skulls, which he can't currently actually deploy, thanks to Revoker, but now he casts Wrath of God. So Wrath of God kills the Revoker and the Flicker Wisp, as well as Stoneforge Mystic.
Alright, so
Michael Torres,
gorgeous portal
he
red.
is passing the... No, he's casting...
Time for some goats.
Is this only a single goat?
Alright, it's goat time.
One goat. Goat time.
Yeah, it's goat time.
So, ports a Mishra's Factory.
There needs to be a professional sports team that uses a goat as a mascot, so we can say things like this all the time.
That would be interesting.
I think Michael Torres has Celestial Crusader in his hand, not totally sure. Alright, so he attacks and then flashes.
Split second, boom! Not just flash, split second.
Yeah, cannot respond. And so he's going to take 2 from the 1/2 Springjack guy. It's +1/+1. Vendilion Click comes down though.
Players in the draft open, your pairs for round 2 have been posted. Players in the draft open, pairs for round 2 have
Batter
been
Skull on the bottom.
Please find your seat.
So Nick should be one of the free Batter Skulls he got off of that Flicker Wisp.
So, just a free card.
Nick's found his way back into this game with plenty of lands.
He was stalled on mana, but Michael Torres was not able to assemble much pressure or many goats.
Yeah. Nick draws Oblivion Ring, I think.
Oblivion Ring. He is Oblivion Ring?
And then one in the sideboard, yeah.
Oh,
Catch-all answer, I suppose.
interesting.
Deals with opposing Jaces.
Makes sense.
In comes Medallion Click. Down comes Flooded Strand for Nick Spagnolo. That's line number 5 for the once mana light opponent.
And Stoneforge, which will go get that Batterskull once again.
All right, Michael untaps. One goat on the battlefield, one Spring Jack.
Is the goat count going up?
All right, see if we can. Crusader. Let's see. I'm trying to get a read on what's in Michael Torres' hand.
I believe that was a lead and Arbiter.
Yeah, I saw the Mirrodin symbol. Oh man.
So in comes the squad.
And cracks that Flooded Strand. And that means that Mirror Crusader is likely going to block. Or sorry, Mirror Crusader. Mishra's Factory. Very
I was
close
just like,
cards.
what are you talking about? Mirrodin Crusader.
They're both two-word card names. One that start with M. So
If we have a second Celestial Crusader here. Well, and that Stoneforge Mystic is a 2/3 thanks to Celestial Crusader.
yeah, it's very true. And looks like the factory is activated,
going
pumps
to-
itself. So it's going to eat up and to take care of most of Mike's board.
So is this?
It
Looks like it was. Maybe it was.
nothing died. Oh, there's this too. All right.
Oh,
Nick
no.
had to force the second Spring Jack. Shepherd.
Boo.
He couldn't let it resolve, otherwise he would be looking
there'd
pretty
be
bad.
so many go. Oh god, that was really bad. He'd be in a bad spot.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty disappointed that there's no goats in play, not more goats in play.
There's still one
I
goat.
mean, it's not to say that I'm rooting for the player with the goats, but I'm rooting for the goats. At least that they get to enter play and do goat-like things.
And Nick plays Jace, bounces back Celestial Crusader. Does not make the mistake of bouncing Scream Jack. Shepherd.
So time was actually just called.
This game will likely go to a draw.
Well, they actually have 7 extra minutes because they did start a little bit late.
Oh, okay.
So
time's
called for the rest of the round. So yeah, this should certainly be able to reach its natural conclusion. Yeah, it looks like Nick is quite aware of the time pressure he's under and is playing as quickly as possible.
All right, there's Batterskull. Nick is pretty good position to clean up here. Although Mike Torres just plays lead in Relic Warder. Relic wards away one Batterskull. And plays the lead in Arbiter too. Looks like he's gonna pass back to Nick. Nick's board, Vendelian Click, Stoneforge, Jace. Several lands, including 2 Mishra's Factories. Michael Torres has a 0/1 goat, Spring Jack, Shepherd, which made said goat, lead in Relic Warder and lead in Arbiter.
But Nick does have Jace online. And, well, Jace gives him a sort of inevitability. He needs more than just inevitability right now. He needs a way to actually win in the next few minutes.
Inevitability.
I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm gonna let you do that all yourself.
But yeah, seriously, that Jace is just gonna pull ahead with this game. He's got Batterskull, I guess he did get relic ordered, but he still has that second one. He put it back underneath his deck with a click, but they found it again with that Stoneforge, right? So he should still have it. I can't quite make out Nick's hand.
As the tag team of Jace and Stoneforge Mystic is pretty difficult for the Billy Goat's Gruff or whatever that we have on the left side of the board. So Crusade comes down, which makes those goats a little bit scarier.
And attacks for.
I wonder if Nick is really taking into account the Crusader and Crusade affecting his creatures.
Yeah, I mean
it's just an effect that has been shifted. The way that those sort of effects work nowadays is much more like Honor the Pure. Pretty much all of the Lord effects and the Crusade type effects. It's just funny because we call them Crusade type effects when they originated with the card in play right there, Crusade. But they've all been pretty much changed such that they impact. Oh, and then Batterskull gets back.
Mid-combat, revive Batterskull. Swords, Arbiter, get back Batterskull, block. Yeah, I mean, because it's not fun when you pump your opponent's creatures, right?
Right, well, I mean, that's why they've all changed, but, for players who haven't necessarily, played for, all of Magic's lifespan, they're much more used to the sort of more modern version of those cards, like Honor the Pure.
Nick's only enemy here is time, I think. He just has to make sure he's got enough time to take this match down.
So, looks like...
Alright, there's Celestial Crusader. And so, a couple creatures die off in combat. But the Batterskull brings up Nick's life total. And he takes 2 from that goat.
It looks like Leon Arbiter trades for the Bishop's Factory there, essentially. And Nick actually gains life in the exchange because of the Batterskull, I believe.
Right.
Oh, and it kills a token as well.
Nick's Fate Seals Mike, just leaves the card out on top. You can have it, he says. Once again,
but now we're going to see... What is this? Yep. All right. So
equips Batterskull to Vanillion play.
Click picks up a weapon, gets in there for 7, brings Nick Spagnolo up to 18 life. Michael Torres down to 15.
Someone on Twitter asked if all the goat tokens are foil. Yes, they are foil goat tokens.
If you're going to collect goat tokens, they might as well be foil goat tokens.
It's very difficult to get foil tokens, so... there's a special process you can do that a lot of card alterers have done to their tokens to make foil ones. We basically overlay them with a foil sheet, and it creates a foiling effect. This is like how it's done in the factory, only you have to do it manually. I have a couple foil worm tokens at home.
Interesting.
And Jace +2 on Michael Torres. And Jace all the way up to 6 counters now. Michael Torres chump blocks Medallion Click with Celestial Crusader, getting rid of one of his Crusade effects.
Crusader flies?
Crusader does fly.
Oh. All right, so...
And I feel that way about most Time Spiral cards. It's like...
That does that?
It makes total... part of the reason perhaps why that set was not as successful is because it's very hard to grok what's going on.
What is actually even happening in this world? So Jace continuing to go up.
Jace on 8 counters now. And Nick
Medallion
playing very
Click
quickly.
continuing to attack. So, I mean, this game looks like it's well in hand for Nick Spagnolo. Michael Torres, pretty low on action, pretty low on life. I think his life total there is incorrect that we're seeing on the screen. That Click has gotten a couple attacks in.
But he's been chump blocking.
He did chump block once, at least. Yeah, he's down to 9 left. It's a little different than we had on our screen.
Yeah, and Nick's also got the Jace angle.
Second
Crusade, pumping up guys, but not too much effect.
That goat is not quite scary enough.
Draws Wasteland. And Nick Fate Seals again. 10 counters on the Jace now.
His several roads to victory here. And Michael Torres draws. And there it is. So, despite a goat swarm taking game 2, Nick Spagnolo manages to come back and win the match. That was definitely
fun to see.
Definitely a fun match to watch. Some interesting stuff going on there.
I mean, I'm not gonna say